The main thing about what I'm making is always something positive, like the vibrant colors. I want to bring a good feeling to the ones who are looking at my art. Their spirits.
Today's guest is Håkon Haug Paulsen. He is known to many as the artist Håk. He was born and raised in Sandnes, where he lives on the countryside and has his atelier. Creativity has always been flowing through his veins. Already at the age of 10, he won a national drawing competition in connection with the Olympics in Lillehammer, where he had his drawing printed as a postage stamp in 1 million editions. It was at this stage he knew that art was going to have a key role in his life. He went on to study drawing, form and color for 3 years, continued with art, media and communication at Oslo Met, and has worked for 10 years as an art teacher. In 2015, he co-founded FitInk, a brand for urban wear, which he was involved in for about 3.5 years. Having many interests and passions, Håkon has also worked part-time as a firefighter and a personal trainer for many years. With his versatile background and experience in art, ranging from clothing design, 3D design and street art, he has developed an easily recognizable style with strong colors, pop art-inspired, urban and beautiful contrasts in his art. By expressing himself through his art style, he wants to create wonder and positive emotions in his audience. People can check out some of his artwork at the shopping mall Kvadrat, Bergen Storsenter and Magic Hotel Korskirken. And now, dear friends, my conversation with Håkon Haug Paulsen. Welcome to the pod.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. And having known you for a while, I know that the phrase Memento Vivere has a special meaning to you. Tell us about that.
I don't know if I would say special because it was actually when it's a tattoo I have on my chest, and from one of my first tattoos, must be like 20 years ago or something. And it started with I wanted something cool. Something in Latin, but of course I can get behind the phrase Memento Vivere. That means a reminder of life and like seizing the day and remember to like stay in the moment like we often forget. And it's been like a pillar through my life.
Yeah, I definitely feel that you're a kind of person who manages to stay in the moment very often.
I try to, yeah.
And I think that's probably something a lot of people aspire to these days with meditation and mindfulness and everything. Definitely a key part of our society today. All the distractions with cell phones
I think so
and everything.
Too. Yeah, it's getting more and more important as well, especially with like the social media and all these other distractions we get in our society, and to like plug out. And remember to stay in the moment, not always like chasing the gold or the next thing. And has always been important, but getting like more and more important for me the older I get, and remember to appreciate the moments. Yeah.
You've also been the kind of person who've been quite aware of your passions and what you're into, and been able to follow your passions. And in 2015, for instance, you co-founded FitInk, urban wear brand, and you were involved there for about 3.5 years. Maybe you can tell us about that entrepreneurial journey and how it started, the different pivots along the way, and
for sure.
Maybe some of the key things you learned from that journey, that experience.
Oh yeah, where to start, but like many other people or have had a dream like starting their own brand, and this was an opportunity for me. I linked up with an old friend I haven't seen for a couple of years, because of where I was at life in Australia and education and all this. I came back to Stavanger and I met him through work. And he started pitching me this idea of a clothing company. And I was like, okay, let's see what you have to say. And sounds interesting. And pitched me the name FitInk. But it all started because I met him. I was working at Sats or I was Sats or Elixir, whatever. like a personal trainer, and it started with the intention of making like sportswear with integrated tech. So we set the bar pretty high, with cost and everything. Started looking towards China, contacting different brands and see what they were able to do for us. But of course, with the tech and everything, you have to have a lot of investors. We got some samples, some tights and training gear, but we ended up pivoting going from sportswear and over to like this street-based brand that's like more like we are as persons, the culture, like with music, we're into the style. So we ended up with FitInk streetwear.
Mm-hmm.
The journey started there, and made a business plan. Of course, a lot of learning experience during this time. I was building web pages, had to learn new skills from the beginning. And I was still working as a teacher back then. Mm. So I had a full-time job, and all the extra hours basically was sitting in front of a computer, planning, meeting, and my partner Christian was outsourcing for investors. And so that was the beginning though. And from there, the designing of clothes I was doing, of course, in partnership with Christian, and we developed a team with other guys as well. It's hard to have a business with just two people, and ended up with a store in Pedersgata in Stavanger with other friends as well, where we ended up customizing sneakers.
Yeah, I remember that.
First in Norway to do that. And started collaborating with some people in the industry, like music industry, and I had a good thing going there for a while, and a lot of fun and a lot of learning moments along the way though.
Yeah, you even made a music video at some point in time.
Yeah, we linked up with some musicians from Oslo, and but due to some disagreements, we couldn't release the music video.
Oh, really? Okay.
So it stopped because of that. Yeah, I cannot go into details there, but there were some disagreements between people involved. So it was fun. It was a fun project. I was really looking forward to the video as well. But after we were done, we had to cancel and couldn't release it, unfortunately. But great learning experience either way.
Yeah. And I guess building something from scratch, building a brand from scratch, understanding the market, understanding how to present yourself on digital profiles and stuff like that. There must be, I will imagine that there's quite a lot of learnings from that you maybe have incorporated later on.
Yeah.
Maybe you could speak to that.
For sure. It's like you're saying, the understanding of the market, how to present yourself as a brand. And then looking back now, it's pretty big goal to start a new brand with all these other brands, and you need to compete with prices and how to stand out between all these others, providers of streetwear clothing. So it's basically adds up to what makes us special, what makes us different. Why should people choose us instead of Nike or Adidas or Reebok, There's a lot of established huge brands out there, but definitely customizing sneakers was like a kicker for us. We got some attention. Have to mention Tuas and Nico that we work with as well, and they were great at customizing and designing shoes from scratch. But it takes a lot of hours sitting painting, and then again you have to sell the shoes for a price, and the customer must be willing to pay that price. A lot of work and a lot, as I said earlier, learning experiences. So definitely been bringing these experiences with me later in life when, started my art projects and going solo, and used the knowledge to try to get my art or my brand, or to say, out there.
Yeah, I can imagine. That must have been valuable to be able to draw on those earlier experiences.
For sure, for sure.
And just one more thing from the FitInk days. One of the, I would say, key slogans from that period of time was challenge yourself. And what does that signify, and why is that important, you feel?
It has to do with growth. For me, it's always about stepping out of your comfort zone, like give yourself a challenge, because it sounds like maybe like a cliche, but still those words to live by, I think. And it's nothing grows inside the comfort zone. You need to go out and experience and push your limits to maybe reach your full potential, and don't be afraid to try new things. Basically be a yes person or a human. And I think life will give you gifts back if you challenge yourself and push your limits. If you don't do it, the answer is already no.
Yeah,
either way,
true.
so you have nothing to lose.
And speaking of challenges, what has been the biggest challenge you faced in your life, and how did you overcome it?
There's been like personal stuff with family and stuff like that. I won't go into it right now because of people involved, because it's been hard. And of course, things I've been through, like personally, with like kind of relationships earlier, thought were gonna last, and then you go on you have I don't want to call it a breakdown, but when life shifts from one direction that you think you're this is the way I'm gonna go, this, you see like your path in front of you, and suddenly like it's a big change, and that's when the challenge comes. And of course I sat down, maybe I started drinking a little bit too much, isolated myself, basically for a period. I was sitting in an apartment in Sandnes, feeling sorry for myself, and basically did all the things I know you shouldn't do by isolating myself from friends, and just wanted to be alone and didn't talk to anybody about my problems or anything. Until I did, and of course you and other friends as well, looking out for me, taking time to visit, taking that extra phone call, getting back on track. And when I see that like in perspective or looking back, but it's all learning experiences again. Life will hit you in the face sometimes, and it's all about how you get back up. But I don't know, without friends, I don't know if I would have gotten back up as quick as I did, Probably sitting there. You never know, but that's when you see who your real friends are, and who really cares. So yeah, life took me in a different direction than I thought, and couldn't be happier today. Because that's what made me end up where I am at now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's often very difficult to see what can come out of something while you're in the middle of it. But
exactly,
then,
when you're in the
it's
bubble.
easier.
But then it's important to like reflect, think over the situation, and try to look forward. But the stupidest thing you can do is isolate. And I think the best thing is to get out, talk to people, and get new experiences. Because the worst thing you can do is sit with your own thoughts in your own head, and you go in a circle or movement, so to speak, with your thoughts, and you ain't going nowhere, because there's no new input or anything to make you move forward.
Great learning. Speaking of creativity and your current work, I think, as far as I can tell, creativity has always been a large part of your life, and art has played a major role for you, but at different intensity levels.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to tell us about how the pendulum of art has been swinging back and forth for you throughout the years.
Yeah. When I was like 18, 19, around there, I had some education, of course, in art school, and I started painting. People were, could you paint or make like Hulkin or cartoon characters? I did it for a while. Needed the money, but it bored the shit out of me eventually. It's just like copying and not being created from my own head, but replicating characters that's already been made. And I got tired and I stopped doing commissioned work. And of course, in between that, ended up, like we talked about with FitInk, and got a lot of my creative process when we were establishing FitInk and designing clothes. So I stopped painting and drawing for, I don't know, many years. Starting again after the second period of Corona. So that will be like 3-4 years ago, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And that's because of, I work as a teacher as well, art teacher, and home office, isolated like everyone else. Because when you're sitting home and don't get out and feeling like you're not worth or doing anything that's worth, how to put it? Yeah, it didn't feel valued, or I need to get out and do something productive, meaningful, for yourself. And like if it's work one day and you have been doing some work, get home for dinner, you feel like you contributed. Yeah,
to society.
Yeah, exactly. Or to the world, so when you're sitting home day after day doing the same as waking up, art became like a savior to me. Like mental health. Started, made a little studio in my garage, started painting there. And it's just been a creative process since, actually. And a learning experience as well. Yeah, something I really love to do. And first of all, for myself and the zone I'm getting into when I'm painting or drawing, or that's when I'm really in the moment, like we talked about earlier. And
being fully present,
you don't
so
think about anything else. Yeah. And the state of flow, so to speak, you can get there through all kind of different activities or whatever you do, but that's I feel really great when you're in the state of flow and in the moment. So art is a gateway for me to get there.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm lucky. I feel lucky that
absolutely.
I found it, though.
You found it, yeah. You found your avenue for...
Yeah, what works for me, of course, but...
that's wonderful. I think a lot of people these days are lacking meaning in life, as you referred to earlier, or they're trying to figure out what that would mean for them.
Yeah.
And a lot of people struggle as a byproduct of that, struggling with getting into their flow. Yeah. So I think it's wonderful you've found your outlet.
Yeah, I feel lucky that I found it, because I don't think it's necessarily easy, because you definitely have to get out of your comfort zone as well, try new things, like maybe the first step. But I don't know the answer to what would be a state of flow for somebody else, or stay in the moment. It could be for everything from reading a book to enjoy cooking a meal. Doesn't have to be anything big, but it's about plugging out, I think, and finding your sweet spot or state of flow. But I found it through art. That's my escape.
And as far as I can tell, you've been exploring also within art itself. You've tried several different artistic styles in your paintings, and you've done some sculptures as well. I'm wondering, what characterizes the different styles that you've tried for you, and how would you describe the different styles that sort of incorporate your art?
I don't really think about it as different styles, because it all comes from me and my head, So for me, it's I get what you're saying, because the expression is different, of course. But as you can see, basically in all my pictures, it's using much the same colors. And, you know, it's always starts with I can get an idea from maybe just listening to a song or walking by a house with special colors. You never know where I could get like inspiration from, but often when I'm going to bed, so I have this book laying on my night table, so I have to write down my thoughts, or else I couldn't go to sleep at all.
So you capture your thoughts just before
I need to do
sleep.
that. I'm afraid I'm going to forget it the next day. And I've done that. Why didn't I write it down yesterday? I can't remember what it was, but it must have been something good. But it's not always good, of course. But but maybe like 10% if I write down, and I'm turn it into art, basically. Heavily influenced 80s, 90s. As you can see, a lot of like neon colors and 89 has been a huge inspiration for me. Childhood memories, characters I make, and so. And I've never been afraid to try out new techniques, new ways of painting. And so when I look back now, where I started from 3 years ago, I feel there's I feel I've learned a lot and found the more, like you said, my style. So always trying new stuff and express myself through art.
Now I can imagine the more you get into it, the more you hone your own style, you try different things, and you sort of find your inner voice, as a lot of the authors say when they write a book. After writing several books or a lot, they find their inner voice, maybe find their inner style. So I mean, that's interesting that you sort of resonates with you.
To be honest, so when I look back now, what I was very pleased with 3 years ago, and when I look back now, I'm like, no, it looks like shit. Some of it, I think, but people still like it though. But you know, your worst critic is yourself, of course, always. And the most important thing for me when I'm painting is get my idea out. Like I want it, and then I'm happy with the painting and sort of kind of done with it. You know, let's move on. What's the next thing? I have more ideas I want to develop and get out there. So that's part of the process as well.
Talking about your artistic expression, I'm also curious, in what way would you like people to recognize your art? Is there like certain features or hallmarks about your art that you would like a keen eye to be able to like pick up?
If you maybe pick out 5-10 last pictures I made, the color scheme, of course, always with the kind of purple, blue, yellow. It's the neon vibe. I think you will see it's a painting from Hawk. Because of the style colors, I use mixed media. It's up to the people who looks at it. I just paint like I do and how I want to do it. I'm a big fan of Rick Rubin, and he talks about remember that what you're producing or making creatively is for yourself. Don't try to be like, what can I paint now to sell? If you know, what would the people that are coming to an exhibition like? Because then you're losing the value.
And losing authenticity as well, I think.
Authenticity as well. And the process, then you're just producing a product. And you're not doing it for yourself.
Yeah, it becomes product rather than art. Probably.
You could have thoughts about this fox in a different way than me or somebody else, and that's what I like about art as well. But the main thing about what I'm making is always something positive, like the vibrant colors. So I want to bring a good feeling to the ones who are looking at my art, make them happy, or just they can stand there and look at it and have good feelings from.
Yeah, lift their spirits.
Yeah, lift their spirits kind of way. Totally.
We touched on this a little bit earlier in the conversation, but I want to dig a little bit deeper, if we can.
Sure.
And we all find inspiration in a lot of different places. And I believe that at least one of the styles that you've explored have been inspired by an artist friend of you, Pryl.
Yeah.
Who would you say inspires you the most, and why? And you can take this question both in regards to art and life, or just one of them. I mean, up to you.
Yeah, I like that you brought it up because of Pryl. That's where I started my journey. I was invited to a dinner. I didn't knew who was gonna turn up, and we met at a friend's house, and Pryl, or Kenneth, was one of the people showing up at the dinner. We had a great time there, lots of good conversations, and we talked about art and found out that we should work together on a project. Yeah, I will just start there. We made a picture together of the Crash Pink ice cream, and that was pretty successful, and ended up selling the original to diplomies and made some prints, and so that's where
that's a great story in itself.
Yeah. We had a good trip to Oslo. Got to meet, or we just called him the president over the ice cream. So got some free ice cream, a great trip, and some experiences. But I will actually say that's where my second phase or art journey started again. It was when I met Kenneth, and got inspiration from him, and the way we were able to make art together as well. That's the first time I started drawing with pen, because that was he inspired me to try that out, and I found my style and incorporated some of his style, and just like for myself, for learning how to use pen and to get my expression on a piece of paper. So thanks, Kenneth, for making me learn to draw cool pen drawings. And from there, I have been going bigger and bigger. And with paintings, I love to go like as big as I can and express myself with colors. And Kenneth's been an inspiration. And for me, music and art is the same, or basically the same thing, linked together. Because both things are made to create feelings. From my perspective, art makes you feel a thing, a song can make you feel a thing.
Yeah.
So always inspiration from music. But it can be everything from a poster. It's often art or nature as well. I'm a spiritual person, enjoy walks in nature and exploring that side of life as well. So you never know. I can get inspiration from everywhere. It just pops up.
Yeah, maybe we can double click on that and talk a little bit more about what nature means to you.
Yeah, let's use the word mindfulness. It's where I find peace, and it's been a while, but often before when I've used to every Friday after work pack a little backpack, and I live pretty close to some mountains, nature. And even if it's just a little hour, walk in through the trees and up on a mountain, just sit there with a cup of coffee and empty my mind and maybe reflect on the day, and just try to be present in the moment. That's very important, to find like peace and quiet. I have quiet around me because as a teacher as well, with the youths, and there's a lot of noise all the time, and I need to quiet it down also to tune in to maybe some other frequencies. And definitely when I sit there in my own kind of headspace, thoughts and ideas can pop up.
Yeah.
And definitely from like now, colors, everything about nature is just fantastic. But for mental health, it's the best thing.
Yeah, I find a lot of peace and quiet moments in nature, very refreshing, and sort of clears my mind as well. So I can very much relate to that feeling. Coming back a little bit to your artwork, you've done a lot of solo work. We talked a little bit about collaborations.
Yeah.
You also done some work on commission.
Yeah.
What comes to mind as one of the most fun or memorable moments so far along your journey? Maybe some stories.
The ice cream story with Kenneth, but that was the start. And yeah, really excited and hyped to get our pictures out there, because we were sitting, talking together about let's not get any expectations of any sales, and that's like I thought I tried to bring with me through the whole process. Don't try to think about the sale aspect of it. But yeah, with Kenneth, always been a pleasure. We have had a lot of collaborations, always making some retro, like old school art, often inspired by gaming, like the old Nintendo. And we just made, like a couple of weeks ago, we made Bubble. I don't know if you remember.
I remember, yeah. I played that on Game Boy
exactly.
a lot. Yeah.
But for me and Kenneth, it's making, of course, a picture together. But it's the conversation and the time and the fun we have together is the most important thing. And
I can imagine.
And it's a product that comes out of it. It's just the bonus. So yeah. But commission work, Fiskepiren, got a call. It's an old acquaintance of mine who's I made a call. Do you want to come and make a mural for us? It's we're starting up a new concert arena, and we would like something on our wall. And I've never done that before, but I was like thinking, yeah, why not? I think we'll be able to do this. And had a meeting, walking around, checking out the arena, and getting some inputs from Espen, and starting to develop an idea though. So, and then I contacted Tuas, haven't talked to him actually in a couple of years. I think we lost kind of contact or went different ways after the FitInk project. But I knew he had skills, and so I asked him if he wanted to come on the project with me. I needed help anyways. It's a huge wall, 6 by 4 meters or something. So, stencil had to be cut. But I made a sketch and had an idea for the art that we were going to put up on the wall. And we went to work and again made a spaceman sitting there fishing on a planet. And of course it's called the Fiskepiren. Tried to incorporate some of their history. It's concerts there, so made a fish with like a headset, the DJ, and created kind of a spacey music, neon glowing feel to it. It was great fun making that one, and that was my first big project. And yeah, I'm happy it went the way it did.
Yeah, what a great way to challenge yourself and expand your repertoire.
Exactly. Yeah. Next one was at Kvadrat. Made one there. That's mural. That was one night I was there for, and my wife joined me for that one. I needed some help, and also there they had some thoughts, and I made it in my style, of course, and tried to. That was like 2 by 4 meters or something. Pretty much freestyled the mural with one stencil. It's a person with some sunglasses and like tools.
Yeah, it's quite a big one as well.
Yeah, it's a big one as well, of course.
It came out around Easter, I think, this year. Yeah,
a couple of months ago. So great learning experience as well.
One of the pieces you've done that also stands out in my mind is this mixtape piece. I think that was a collaboration.
That was a collaboration with Kenneth. And of course the cassette, it's just a cool object, and the memories behind it.
There's like a fun thing with it where there's a QR code where
I forgot about that. We put in a QR code, so if you scan it with your cell phone, you get a playlist with pretty much 6 or 8 songs. I don't remember, but we were thinking about the A and the B side of the cassette,
yeah,
and couldn't make more songs. It had to fit into a cassette, and the vibe we were going for as well. It's like turquoise and purple, the cassette, and in space floating.
That's a really cool one.
I think we would label it My Love, or we're thinking about like a mixtape though you made for a girl you liked or a special person. Yeah.
Maybe my memory doesn't serve me well on this one, but I seem to recall that there was one painting you sold to an American rapper or something like that. Is that that mixing something up? Or?
No, that was early on. I think that was when I started. I made a picture of a rapper called Riff Raff, and I think it was his photographer who contacted me through Instagram, and he was curious about the picture. He liked it. I think it's because Riff Raff also basically his image, 80s, 90s style, same color scheme, and this, and it it was interesting in the picture. So I didn't sell it. I said you can have this one, because for sure for me it was just great to get it shipped out to Riff Raff, and it just felt like an honor being contacted by someone that huge.
I can imagine.
It's just random and coincidences though that will get you there. But really cool.
It's really cool.
I think so too. So it's a couple of years ago, but getting this in the start, like let's call it our career or whatever you want to call it, with the collab with Kenneth, getting it sold to Diplomis, who made the ice cream original. And I think we were a little bit lucky there as well, because they relaunched it actually the year we made the picture.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, without us knowing. So it was just coincidences again.
Perfect.
And the Riff Raff, I was trying a technique called like floating paint.
Oh.
You mix up this medium, and the paint just float around on the canvas. YouTube it. And went over with some markers and paint. Tried new styles, and made Riff Raff with some sparkly glitter and colors, and getting that, let's call it, spark in the start, and
and some recognition.
That's the word I was looking for. It just keeps you motivated.
Absolutely.
So, and of course, like everyone else, it's sometimes they were really motivated, and your motivation could lack sometimes. But at the right time, since I started, I always get like a little build up or
a little extra boost.
At the time I needed it.
Yeah.
So far it's been a really fun journey, and it still is. I really enjoy it. Almost been kind of a lifestyle, because tidy house, it's not in our vocabulary, because there is paint and canvases and stuff around the house all the time. Of course, I had the garage, but my wife, she got a motorcycle, and I got one too, so no more space in the garage. So
so now it's built into the house.
No, can't paint and spray anymore in the garage. So
this is a great segue into talking more about your process and how you approach a new painting or a new sculpture. I would imagine, or you could tell us maybe if the process changes with the format, like if it's a mural, maybe it's a different process. If it's a painting, if it's a sculpture, maybe you could talk to that a little bit.
Process, of course, is different from painting to like a mural, because then you have made stencils. I always start with cans and prepping the canvas first, and then I start with cans and making the background with the colors. I also know I have this kind of thing. I can close my eyes and I visualize colors in my head, like the color scheme of the picture. So I already know where I want the colors. Like I could show you a little bit on this one, So on this one, I knew that I was, of course, the size and everything I wanted. So I just used a pencil. Yeah, marked up the outlines
Yeah.
of the fogs, about the nose, ears, like some. And then I sprayed up the background with cans. And then I also sprayed like just freestyle. I knew like here it's gonna be a white, it's gonna be more orange here. So just go like really fast, spray up like a base, and then I paint it by hand using acrylics. So there under here there would probably some blue spray paint. And then I have painted other layers over.
So you go sort of layer by layer, so to speak.
That's the layer by layer always, because I want a depth in my pictures.
And do you sort of cover up the parts of the painting that are not part of this layer? I'm not sure how to word it, but do you understand what I mean?
Use like tape or.
Okay.
No, I don't do it.
No,
with stencils, of course, because then you have to cover everything that you don't want the spray.
Yeah, exactly.
Because then you remove the stencil and the objects will appear. But here I just freestyle the edges, and I like everything. If there's something I would think about as a mistake, I don't think maybe others would think.
Will notice, or
the art, it could be like rough in the lines somewhere. I'm painting a fox. It got the fur and space, and so yeah. But like I said, it's pretty much in my head. I can see it when I close my eyes, and that's when I get ideas as well.
You visualize it.
I visualize it, yeah.
And in terms of the equipment, like you have paintbrushes. Do you use like other pieces of equipment, like the wooden end of the paintbrush, or some other things?
And lately, the latest one I made for this exhibition tomorrow, actually. And tried to add something new. I like the neon colors, but now I wanted it to glow like a neon sign. So in this one, I have used cans, airbrush, and a lot of Posca acrylics markers. And I started like dab them on and start using my fingers to like smoothen it out and to get like this shadowy, glowy effect. So I don't experiment and try out new stuff. And like you said, I could easily just flip around the pencil and use the other side as well, or whatever is laying on the table. It could be a piece of paper to get like some structure on it, and whatever feels right for the expression I want to make in the picture.
I remember some previous paintings where you had like fluorescent colors, or like you glow in the dark, like you use like a black light, and then you can see like a different different view of the painting, a different perspective of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just as that I haven't put out the blacklight videos on the latest. But if you use a blacklight on every picture, there are fluorescent colors that will pop out in every single one.
I really like that, because it adds like a different, or another dimension rather, to the painting. You can enjoy it in different settings. Yeah,
I love it. The expression it gets with the blacklight is just that it's not everybody have a blacklight at home, so they won't get that feeling. Because in the start, but I was putting out videos showing it with and without the blacklight, but I think I'm gonna start showing it again, because I personally also think it's really cool when it's dark and it's a totally different feel to the picture because of the color.
And people will learn more about sort of what went into this picture and what you can get out of it.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe you should even sell the picture along with a blacklight.
Yeah. Trust me, the thought has gone through my mind.
Bundle.
Yeah, and I was thinking about maybe I actually started building wooden frames for the bigger canvases as well. So maybe now it's the time to start incorporating maybe some black lights and building it into the
imagine it was built into the frame.
Yeah, I thought about it, but
that would be cool.
I waited a couple of years to learn how to cut the frames in like 45
degree angle,
I did it so wrong so many times, but I bought the right equipment now and I have learned to do it. So now I'm able to maybe take it a step further and incorporate blacklight. It will be really cool to, or I'm going to do it sooner or later, of course. Everything needs to be tried out and tested.
Yeah, of course. I look forward to that.
Yeah.
And then you have sort of the painting and the frame and the lighting. Everything becomes like a part of a bigger piece, even.
It's like a piece, more or less. Yeah. No, that will be really cool. I will definitely try that out now that I have learned how to build frames.
Shifting gears a little bit. I know you quite well, which means that I'm aware of some of the adversity you've been through in the last 5 years.
Sure.
And I was thinking it would be interesting to know how has those tough times that you face in your private life influenced your art, or how you think about the role of art in your life?
Again, a good question. I mentioned it earlier a little bit about I went through a breakup after a relationship about 12 years. So my life today, if you're moving 5 years back, it's a different life. I'm at a different place, but that's life, of course. And it's been hard times or learning experiences, really hard times. And I learned a lot about myself and how important it is to take care of, especially of your mental health, and how to change perspective and search for. I've read a lot of books about this kind of mindfulness section when it comes to books, and I'm a thinker as well. And me and you have had a lot of like deep conversations. You need to process your feelings and try to like look at it from the outside and always take something positive from the experience. But it's really hard, of course, when you're feeling beat down and laying on the floor. And it's easy always to say afterwards, when you're looking back, that it's a learning experience. But it is. It's with everything. Time goes and time heals. It does, even though it seems like hopeless when you're in that moment, that when the world crashes around you and you need to think different and go in a different direction. And to incorporate like the art aspect of it. I don't think I didn't make art when I was down. My feelings aren't in the right place to make the art that I want to be making, because my message is like happiness, the vibrant colors, and when I didn't feel the colors inside or the happiness at all, I don't feel like making art. The only thing I feel like is sitting and drinking alcohol, forgetting and doing stupid shit to make things worse the next day, and then you're in a cycle, negative spiral, so to say. And but of course, with right influences and people around, get back up, and then I got back the feeling again, started making art, and got into a positive spiral also from starting making art. But I need to have like the spark. Or a happy feeling inside me to do what I do and live how I want to live.
That makes a lot of sense, and especially given sort of the vibe that you want to get across through your art. It needs to come from an authentic, happy place, and you can't sort of fake that. It needs to come naturally.
I could probably make some heavy, dark art during those times, but I don't know. Could have maybe have helped me process, but that's not what I want to do with my art. I want to make it from a happy place.
What do you feel is good art? What makes good art in general? What is good art to you?
It's subjective. It's the person you are, what you like. Like your favorite color might be different from my favorite color. and just as one easy thing as that will make a difference. What's your life experience? What's your memories? And the style that you like are different from us. So there is no right answer. What is bad art? What is good art? What is art? It's impossible to say, because it's in the eye of the beholder, so to say.
Let's shift gears a little bit once again. You've tried your hand at many different things over the years.
Yeah.
Teacher, firefighter, personal trainer, entrepreneur, designer, artist, to name a few.
Yeah, to name a few.
How do you define success now, and how has that definition changed over time? And perhaps you can, if you will, describe a moment in time that changed your perspective.
Funny you should ask, because I was telling my wife about that here the other day, because success to me has never been about money or influence or like material things. And it actually was like this hippie teacher back when I went in, was it 10th grade or something? And I remember he said, like, if you're gonna do something in life, remember to be good to other people and not think about money. Of course, in this society we live, money is an object, but I always been, as long as I have enough money to like have a roof over my head and have a comfortable life. Of course, everybody wants that. Stay dry and
got the basics covered.
Yeah, the basics covered, basically. So that's always been important to me, to get value through the happiness of others. I really like helping other people. So success for me is, on a personal level, is success, to put it in a sentence, is waking up happy. Basically. So if I wake up happy, I feel successful because I have treated myself right and my feelings. So, and when I'm in a good place and I feel happy, it's easy for me to spread that energy. And as a teacher, or through art, or even a conversation with a person that day, I can like sort of put it in that way, pay it forward, but it comes naturally for me because it's just the person I am. I knew from early beginning I wanted to work as a teacher because I like to work with other people, and so success for me is being happy.
It's wonderfully simple and easy to apply. I really like it. Like, if I wake up happy, then I'm on the right track. Then that's like I'm on the path of success for me.
People could probably be happy if they bought a new car, like a brand new car. But I think the happiness will only last for a short period of time. So when I'm talking about waking up happy, it's because I'm happy with life and the place I'm at this moment. And I wake up and I feel this is going to be a good day, and try to spread that energy to people around me. And keep that good spiral going. And of course, it takes work. And that's why I read books and try. You started off with this pod by asking me the question about Memento Vivere. And as you can see, it's always been like a pillar or something that's in my personality. Live in the moment, the happiness, the life aspect, the spirituality behind the mental health, and we're living life from our own perspective, and turn that into how can I be happy today? What do I have to do to be happy today? Take responsibility for your own feelings, and you have to reflect. It takes work every day, or suddenly you forget. And I'm not like Buddha or anything like that, but I feel happy. But sometimes I try to chill down, but of course I'm screaming in traffic as well. Sitting there 4 o'clock from Stavanger maybe to Sandnes and getting angry. But that's the things I'm working on, because if you chill down and maybe take it down a pace, it does something to you. it's not the end, it's the journey. So if I come home like 10 minutes earlier, okay, so I have 10 minutes more on the couch. Wow. Couldn't I just chill it on the way home instead and enjoy the ride, so to say, and so to speak. And that's kind of how I try to view life or live life and enjoy the journey, and not always working towards the end or a result. Like
Just
many maybe
with
would call a success when you reach the end point and the product, but it's finding the success and the enjoy along the way. I think it's most important.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think we can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we show up when it happens.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, you are a well-read person, and you've explored life through many dimensions over the years. And I would be curious to know, what important truth do very few people agree with you on?
Maybe the people I choose to share my personal point of view with, and the deep conversations we go. I feel we're on a same balance with the people I discuss these kind of things with around me. And if not, that's okay as well, because I'm not sitting with any answers for other people. I'm just talking from my perspective and the way and learning experiences I have had during my life, who has made me who I am. It's good either way, though, if people have a different opinion, because maybe it can change the way I'm thinking, or maybe it can change the way they're thinking after a good conversation together, or maybe it can change the way both of us are thinking. But the main goal is always to grow together, not trying to show the other person or win a discussion. There's not an end game going into any kind of conversation, I think. I could get there sometimes, of course, with my wife. I feel like winning a discussion. Or even other people as well. But the goal is to learn something from it. Or maybe next time after she or I won this discussion, maybe not do that again, or learn something from that. I have a winner instinct in me as well, and that's what I'm trying, of course, to suppress in some occasions. It's good to have a winning. You want to win or compete kind of head, but not in every aspect of life. Yeah. So it's about learning how to find a balance, like everything else.
Yeah, and choosing your battles or your games.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it. Choose your battles for sure, or else you will be a warrior every day.
Every day, yeah. We stick to this life thread that I think we're on now. In the last 5 years, what new belief, behavior, or habit has most improved your life, do you think?
The thing I will say about myself is care less about what other people think. And that's only through life experience I really have gotten there, that I wouldn't say I don't think about it, but it doesn't affect me much. Maybe it could be someone at the store. They're thinking the same thoughts. Why is he looking at me? Why is she thinking the way she's thinking, and overanalyzing people and the environment around? Sorry, but fuck it. We're here on a journey, and it doesn't matter what the other people think or say, as long as you're feeling happy and, of course, doing good things. It's just small things that people pay too much attention to, and give other people in the society too much power over themselves, just because of their own perspective. So be yourself and be proud of it either way, though.
Very often these sort of golden nuggets of wisdom that sort of don't care about what other people think, or other sayings like that, is very often difficult to incorporate until you've had some sort of experience that makes it true for you.
Good point, because everybody has heard it. They've heard it a lot of times and read it. So for me, even as sitting here talking about it, it seems like a cliche, but for me, it's the answer. But it has come through work, through reflection, conversations with other like-minded people. And it takes work because, as you're putting as well, you have to incorporate it and make it a part of you. It has to become natural, and it isn't done in a day or a month. It takes years and through experiences as well. But the main thing is to reflect on your experiences and try to make it better for yourself, your mental health, and your perspective. But and I'm not done. I still need to reflect and work on it, because it's easy to get sucked back into the frames of the society, the stress with the, let's call it 9-to-5 work hours, television, social media, and all this interference around you, and find the right balance for yourself in all this craziness.
Navigating, finding your own path can definitely take some time.
Yeah, it does. It does. Always will be a student in the school of life, for sure.
Speaking of school, for as long as I've known you, workout, nutrition, exercise has been a key part of your life. And even in Australia in 2007, 2008, some of the main studies that you were taking on was related to this. How would you say that? What kind of role does that play in your life now, and what role has it played in your life earlier? Has that changed, or in terms of nutrition, exercise, diet, these sort of things?
Training has, of course, developed and gotten different. Now, of course, because of the age and everything, I like to have a good look in shape, of course. And but it's the health aspect. It's the most important thing for me. In the start, it was big, train a lot, almost like obsessive with training, going to the gym. But now it's more like, if I don't feel like going to the gym one day, and I listen to my body and I relax. But of course, if you do that all the time, you will choose the couch every time. So you have to push yourself out the door also. But so I try to make work out 3 to 4 times a week. And if I'm not at the gym, it could be a walk, an hour or something out in nature. But the main reason is, of course, the mental health aspect of it. I could get into a kind of state of flow when I'm exercising. I'm listening to music. I'm in my own space when I'm exercising, especially at the gym though. When I'm out in the nature, I of course don't have any music on, because I like to listen to the birds and the river flowing and the wind, and take those that soundscape in. So it's changed, but it's still an important part of my life, and it always will be. And now that I'm getting older, I've got health benefits, and I want to live a long and healthy life and continue to do the stuff I love, long walks and sports. And I want to live an active life.
Yeah, I think as we age and mature, exercise becomes much more about the mental part and longevity than getting big quick. And so I definitely feel it resonates, and it's about like staying healthy and staying healthy for longer. Expanding quality of life, so to speak.
Definitely.
And definitely I absolutely feel that it clears my mind when I go to the gym. It sort of resets me a little bit, so I'm sort of ready for whatever's next.
Totally agree. It's therapy for me. It helps me to stay in my happy place.
Yeah. You got all the endorphins, flowing in your body and everything. So it lifts you up, lifts your mood up as well.
It does.
What would you say is the most important skill you've developed so far in life?
Being able to talk to all kinds of different kind of people. And from my experiences, being able to kind of resonate or at least give some feedback. But of course, it has to do with my education and work as a teacher, and developing kind of that talking skill and listening skill through the years. It comes naturally. So I'm able to help, especially the kids, and see the person for who the person really are.
If we circle back a little bit to your main focus area, art, what advice would you give to an artist just starting out?
Let's just go for it. Take whatever you have, the equipment, it doesn't matter, or go and buy some colors you like in a canvas or a piece of paper or whatever you want to do. Is art is about exploring, it's the journey, and have fun with it. That's what it's about. Like everything else in life, I think it's about having fun. What else is the point? If you're not having fun with it, why do it then? Okay, find something else that suits your style better, or your hobbies, or the person you are. So have fun with it.
Yeah, it should be fun. It should be authentic.
Yeah,
it should be something you want to do.
Yeah, if you start with a new project or something and it starts to be stressful, I don't think we should start anything like the FitInk. Of course, that was stressful, but I learned a lot from it, and that's why I'm sitting here now as well, and probably saying, don't do it if it's too much stress. Stress is the worst thing for body, mind, and every other aspects of life as well. Then it's not worth it. Of course, there are going to be some, and like started bigger problems. There will always be a stress factor when it comes to like art and something expressive that you can choose to do or not, and it's not to monetize. Then it must be fun.
If there's a lot of work to do, but you find it enjoyable, then it's not stress, and it's giving you energy.
Yeah.
But as you say, if you don't find the fun in it, and you have a lot to do, then it turns into stress, which is toxic and not good for you. So sort of, am I busy? Yeah. Does it feel good? Then it's not stress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The energy part of it that's the main reason for me actually with the art. It gives me energy.
What are your thoughts on digital art and AI art? How do you think the creative destruction that we're seeing in part with AI will impact the art scene?
As a teacher, we started to discuss the use of AI in school, especially with writing. And I think, as you're saying, as with AI and the art aspect of this as well, I think you can find a balance there also. But of course, if you prompt or ask AI to make a picture for you, and then maybe you make an art print and sell it, could you say that you are the creator because you had an idea, So to start there, I would say that's the same as a company would come, we have this idea here, you have 4 sentences about the idea, and then you have to develop it. Like the mural I made at Pryl. Espen told me I want some music, and I came up with some ideas from his idea. But I made the art. So what's the difference there between AI? If I tell the AI to make something based on my thoughts. So, but then again, like with writing, maybe if you ask it to make something and then you develop it further and use that as an idea for your work, then I don't see the problem, because ideas come from posters or internet, music, movies that are already out there. All ideas are often based on something that are already there. especially now in 2024, what hasn't been said or thought of already. You need to be like kind of crazy original with something wild. So yeah, you can use AI, I think, with art and as an inspiration to further develop the expression that you are looking for. You have all had it already, you know, with CNC. I don't know if it's called the same in English, you know, cutting out the metal.
CNC machines.
It's CNC. Yeah. I was watching this show on Netflix. One used CNC and cut out a skull. It's just like giving commandos to computer, but kind of it's been there already. Technology to make, but it was freaking cool what he made. Yeah. He made CNC printout and added his own stuff with welding and, you know. So I'm thinking with AI as well, use it as the tool it is, but develop it further and make it into your own style. And art, yeah.
Yeah, it makes me think about 3D printing as well.
Yeah,
like it's a little bit similar to the CNC example you made.
Absolutely.
Where you sort of make some descriptions or some prompts, and then you have a result, and then you can iterate on that, and you can even imagine, AI, you giving a prompt to the AIs, then the AI comes up with a description that then goes into the 3D printing. Then there are sort of layers of tools, digital tools, that then creates a product. And who's to say who's the artist?
Exactly.
But,
yeah. And I don't think we will ever get an answer to that question, because there isn't one right answer.
Yeah, it's more like a philosophical.
It is kind of philosophical question, because who are to tell what's right and wrong when it comes to art? It's a subjective thing. Of course, there's been people buying art prints made entirely by an AI because they find it nice or
appealing, or maybe it triggers some emotion.
Exactly.
Yeah. And staying with that theme, what's next for you as an artist? What can we expect moving forward?
Don't know. But seriously, I don't know, man. I had this notebook. I write down or digitally a lot of ideas. So I have like this maybe 50 folders with different ideas. Write some text and some sketches, and I take a dive into that archive sometimes and finds I forgot about that one. Now I want to make. But I just finished 2 painting this week for an exhibition tomorrow. So at this moment, my head are more like ready for exhibition.
Yeah.
Have fun there, and we'll see what pops up. That's the way I do it. I've been working with Kvadrat some, and to mention Karsten, he got me to the gallery, into his gallery, underground gallery in Stavanger. He's become a good friend of mine, giving me opportunity to have solo exhibitions and group exhibition at his gallery, and gave me a lot of opportunities and connected me with other people as well, like Kvadrat. And so now I'm just trying to go with the flow and see what happens when it comes to the art, because it's nothing I can force, or I don't want to force or hunt something. I'm fortunate enough to have the Karsten and Lill working at the gallery, doing their part to sell pictures, and I can just paint. We'll see what the next project will be.
Yeah,
I'm excited too.
No, it sounds like you have a great setup, and I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Thanks, mate.
Towards the end, let's zoom out a bit and focus on the really big picture.
Yeah.
If you could get one short message out or image to the world, what would it say or show, and why?
To sum up, enjoy the ride. We're only here on a visit. We're here to visit for time is relative, so short, long time, whatever. It's about being happy, enjoying the time you have here, on this crazy life we're living that nobody knows why or the reason. Find your own reason and find whatever makes you happy, and have a good life. And remember, when you're getting old and you think back, take some chances, and don't be afraid to try new stuff, because you're not going to think back and think about all the things you didn't do, but you're going to reflect on what you did. Maybe you failed, but who cares? Learn from it and try something else, or develop it and do it better next time.
And speaking of life and the inevitable end of life, do you ever think about legacy, like what you leave behind?
No. My picture's going to be here after me, but it doesn't matter to me. When I'm gone, I'm gone, and what I left behind, if there is anything else after this, or are we in a simulation? I'm open to every kind of possibility to what this is, but I don't care about my legacy and what I leave behind, because it doesn't matter to me when I'm gone either way. But of course, if I can put like a footprint behind that does something positive for anyone else, great. But I want to try to put the positive energy and kind of that paying forward kind of mindset while I'm actually here.
And the last seemingly impossible question coming your way.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of life, Håkon?
To have fun.
To have fun.
Yeah, I think so. When it all cooked down to one ingredient, it's fun. Why do you go on a trip? It's of course to relax, but have fun. Why are you gonna meet your friends? To have fun. Why are you working? Yeah, to get money, to do something fun. To have a good time. And there's a lot of ways you can have a good time. What's your good time? It could only be like reading a book, having a cup of coffee. It doesn't need to be on a party in Ibiza, So
yeah,
it's about
different kinds of fun.
it's about having a good time with yourself from your own perspective. So, and do the things that feel right for you.
Well, Håkon, I've had a good time today
Me too,
with you.
as always.
How can people reach out? How can people find you? Where can they find you?
Yeah. They can call me on my home phone. No, I'm just kidding. Social media, Instagram, it's Hawk Art or Hawkson, and or hawkart.com, and there's links to the social media. But mostly, if you're interested, yeah, check out Instagram or hawkart.com. You'll find everything you need there.
Excellent.
All right.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, mate. You as well.
If you appreciated that, then click here for more content like this. Go on, click it. And don't forget to subscribe. Be well.